But if you go and look for shit in an older home, you're going to find some stuff. You know? And so she went and nitpicked and looked in corners and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And she took all these snaps, and I was like, man, she's got like a whole shitload of pictures that she could send to Airbnb if I don't do this $40 thing. And she did. I mean, her stay was like, you know, $400. So if you think about it, it ain't even that big a deal. And so I was like, she could send these pics to Airbnb and say, hey, this guy, you know, his place is whatever was. I don't know.
Hold on. But did she send them the last day, right?
The pictures?
Yeah, she sent them the last day?
She sent them the other day. She's been gone for a few days already.
No, I mean, like, but when's the first... Was it after checkout she sent the pictures?
Yeah.
Oh, ain't nothing to worry about, man. She was already gone. I would have told Airbnb, look, she's been gone 3 days. Sending you a bunch of BS, man. For real, man. Like, what are you sending pictures up from... Yeah, get out of here.
Welcome to Live, Let Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode of Live. My bad.
I took my line of Live.
Let
Thrive. Finally, man. Good to be back in the saddle, huh?
Yeah, man. What you been up to?
I've been up to, you know, the usual, working and all that stuff. And, oh, by the way, this is episode 81 of your favorite Airbnb podcast, VRBO, Home Away, all that stuff, short-term, long-term rentals. And we are the official voice of the hood.
Of the hood. Oh yeah. You got to shout out that guest, huh? Or that listener.
Yeah. We had a listener emailing to us. What was her name? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
I gotta look it up.
I have to go back through.
But she had some good questions. And one thing she was saying that LLT is always welcome in the hood, and I was like, we run the hood.
Yeah, she was asking about, because she has a Airbnb in kind of what you call a up and coming neighborhood, pretty much right around the corner from the hood or in the hood. I'm not sure. But yeah, I guess she had questions on how to word it. Yeah,
she had questions on how to word it. I sort of put like, okay, the Airbnb is in a colorful ethnic neighborhood. It's over there in San Antonio, so you know it's a lot of Mexicans, and so it's gonna be pretty colorful over there, and that's cool. It's part of the charm, you know. Sell them on that. She said that a cop rented it or something. The first guest, the cop and his family, and day one they said they didn't feel comfortable there and they wanted a refund. They wanted to leave, and so she let him leave and she gave him a full refund. But so she was worried about that people weren't gonna want to stay there because it's an up and coming neighborhood. I said you got to be more, you know, you got to throw some code words in there, because she did say gentrified neighborhood, something like that, and I was like, well, people have different theories for that word. You know, not everybody knows what exactly you're saying with gentrification. You know, which means the white people are moving to the hood, pretty much, right?
I was gonna say that. That's what you mean. I mean, if you say that to just somebody from the hood, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you got white people moving in." That's what they're gonna say. But straight up, you know, if you say gentrification, that's the code. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I mean, I told her about mine. That's in a up and coming neighborhood, which ain't nothing up and coming about it. I just straight told them, you know, I said I let them judge the neighborhood. I don't tell them about the neighborhood. I just tell them the neighbors are friendly, because I have friendly neighbors, and I was like, kind of let the guests judge the neighborhood. Just focus on what you're offering in your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, don't put too much pressure on the neighborhood. You know, I mean, well, I don't know how far up in the hood this place is. My place ain't in the hood; it's around a corner from the hood, but you got to drive through the hood to get to it. So I was like, just focus on what you're offering in the place.
Exactly. So we got a lot of topics to cover today, man.
Dude, not only we got a lot of topics, but it's been a while since we got on, because, man, Matter of fact, the government was shut down last time we talked.
That's a long time.
For real, man. Yeah, the government was shut down. That was like, what, 2 weeks ago?
That was 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, government was shut down. It's back now. Looks like they opened right back up after all the what kind of people? What are they called? The air traffic controllers started calling in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and they opened the government back up. So that's a good thing, you know. But hopefully some of those government employees who aren't living or who start to not live the paycheck to paycheck route. So
Exactly. Get them back in the workforce, get them back paying their rent again.
What'd you say?
Get them back in the workforce, get them back paying their rent again.
Yeah, for real.
That's very important.
But yeah. So, what's been going on in your Airbnb real estate world?
Wow. Okay, I'll jump into my my transition first.
Okay.
So I'm transitioning my Hearst house, which is my Airbnb. I'm transitioning it to a long-term rental. And so partly because the ban is coming, which I know you ain't too scared of no ban, but partly
depends.
Yeah. I don't know. See, Arlington's sending the popo out, so it's kind of a little serious over here. But
yeah, Arlington, I'm scared of that. Go ahead.
Hearst, we got like two cops, like a deputy, Fife, with the one bullet in his gun.
Yeah,
Barney Fife. No, so we're just we're gonna try it for a little while, transition to the long term deal, and it's it'll settle things. I think it'll settle things as far as the because our first house is a long term rental. So the second house is going to be a long-term rental also, and that'll kind of settle things. And then we're still searching for house number 4. We're living in house number 3. We'll turn this one into a long-term rental also, and
sounds like you've hopped out of Airbnb, bro.
Well, that's the thing. I have a love-hate relationship with Airbnb. There's times I think it's cool, man. I get some enjoyment out of it. We get the pride and all that stuff. People, give us compliments and love the house. And then there's other times where people try to shake you down for some some Goodwill lamps. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just
How'd that shakedown go?
Well, we kind of reached an agreement. We have to
tell them what happened.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I brought it up on the what was it? I don't know, something professional host page, USA professional host Airbnb, whatever. And so I asked a question. I was like, "Listen, this guest is being an hour before checkout. She hits me up with this long message, saying this and that about the house and saying that the lighting wasn't good and she had to fix it, And so she asked me to pay $40 to reimburse her $40, and I was like, some expensive ass light bulbs. But anyways, send me the receipt. We'll see what's going on. I don't know why she didn't tell me beforehand. Like she was there like 4 days. She could have told me day one, hey, the lighting's not good or whatever. There's a couple light bulbs out. I would have went over the first day and replaced them, whatever. But anyways, what ended up going down is we got to the house and she rearranged all my furniture in my living room.
Hell no.
Yeah, she rearranged all my furniture in my living room. She put some of the TV trays that I got, used them as like side tables, and she made like a whole different living room. And then she put some lamps. She added some lamps to the mix, 3 lamps. So I guess that was what the whole lighting thing was, And so anyways, I was like, what the freak? And so it wasn't just light bulbs. So she expected me to pay for these. She expected me to pay for these Goodwill Goodwill lamps that she bought. She sent me a receipt, and it was from Goodwill. And so
She's shaking you down for light bulbs?
Well, for lamps. She bought 3 lamps and she left them there at the Airbnb, and she expected me to reimburse her for them.
Oh, that sounds like you got 3 free lamps, bro. oh, thanks, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, well, she took a whole bunch. Man, this is the thing. She took a whole bunch of snaps of the place. Well, she had moved. Like I said, the sofas, moved them all. You know, did all this. And in the add-on room where the baseboards are, there's like a little separation there. You know, you can't see it if the sofas are there, but it's like something going on there. I mean, it's just, I can just replace the baseboard. So she started taking zoom-in pictures of all this stuff around my Airbnb, and I was like, oh, crap. And to me, you know, there's stuff you don't see unless you go in there and, you know, zoom in and look for it. But if she sent all this photo arsenal to Airbnb, I had a strange feeling that she was going to get a full refund back. And so I was like, I had a decision to make. I was like, $40, and I even told her, you know, you said you didn't want to leave a bad review. Is that correct? If I paid for these lamps or whatever, I paid for fix the lighting, the $40. She said, yeah, that's correct. And so I went ahead and bit the bullet and paid it. You know, I was just, the way she took all these pictures of my place. And my place is an older home. You know, it's not a perfect, brand new, built day one home or whatever. And so you can go around and you can nitpick and you can find things. No one's ever complained about anything. 5-star reviews, Superhost. But if you go and look for shit in an older home, you're gonna find some stuff. You know? And so she went and nitpicked and looked in corners and this and that and blah blah blah. And she took all these snaps, and I was like, man, she's got like a whole shitload of pictures that she could send to Airbnb if I don't do this $40 thing. And she did. I mean, her stay was like, you know, $400. So if you think about it, it ain't even that big a deal. And so I was like, she could send these pics to Airbnb and say, hey, this guy, you know, his place is whatever was. I don't know.
Hold on. But did she send them the last day, right?
The pictures?
Yeah, she sent them the last day.
She sent them the other day. She's been gone for a few days already.
No, I mean, like, but when's the first? Was it after checkout? She sent the pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, ain't nothing to worry about, man. She was already gone. I would have told Airbnb, look, she's been gone 3 days, sending you a bunch of BS, man. For real, man. Like, what are you sending pictures up from? Yeah, get out of here. But so it sounds like you just went full. You're going full blown long term rentals.
Yeah, so I'm going full blown. To finish the story, yeah, I paid the $40, you know, whatever, no review, this and that. But yeah, we're gonna go full long term rental, and I can go deeper into that. But let's go. Let's flip the script and go to you for a little bit, because you have a crap load of stuff, interesting stuff you want to talk about. I'll go into the long term rental stuff later. You know, this is an Airbnb show. Let's dig in.
Yeah, so pretty much on my side, I'm about to refinance two properties. I'm gonna refinance the house I live in one of my rentals, and then I'm about to after I refinance, then we're gonna make our final decision on what we're gonna do. But I'm thinking about, this is what I was thinking. I was like, man, I could take all this money and I could just make a bunch of Airbnbs, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, I started looking at the market in Dallas, man, and Dallas is oversaturated. Like, this is what I mean by Dallas is oversaturated. If you get on Airbnb and just pull up do the show map, whatever, and you put in all these credentials like Instant Book, Superhost, all that, and like you just say you want one person, you're just looking for a place for one person, and 300 homes come up, man.
Ooh.
I'm like, dang, man. I'm like, it's too many hosts out here. Or too many properties. So I was like, man, let me just start looking at other areas. So I looked at your spot, Grand Prairie. It's only 9 Airbnbs in Grand Prairie that whole homes that hold 6+ guests, Superhost, and Instant Book. It's only 9 homes out there. So I was like, dang, somebody hopped on Grand Prairie, man. That'd be a lick. So I started really diving into it and thinking about it. I'm like, I think I know why Grand Prairie doesn't get the hit, why people aren't building Airbnbs out there. And I started thinking about it. If you're from Los Angeles, California, right? Mm-hmm. You're coming to Dallas, Texas. Where are the two places? What place are you going to try to go to?
Fort Worth or Dallas?
Right there, bam. Or Arlington, only because you know the stadium's there.
Yeah.
So even if you make an Airbnb in Grand Prairie, I'm not saying it's not going to make money, but I'm saying the only time I think most of your guests are going to be people that have lived in Grand Prairie, have family there, because ain't nothing there. Like, as far as attractive that somebody from out of town is going to come there. So, like, I looked at it kind of like my Arkansas spot. The only people that book are people that are from there, or people that have family there, They don't just, or they're coming from out of town because, oh, you're close to the hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you get a different type of crowd, and it does kind of give you it kind of messes with your vacancy rate a little bit. Like as far as long-term bookings, you'll be good. But like for short-term, like if you have, like for in Arkansas, like if I had a vacancy this week, I would have to lower the prices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it would probably be the same way for Grand Prairie, which I haven't ran all the numbers, but the only good thing about Grand Prairie is there ain't that many Airbnbs over there.
Now here's one way I see getting around all that. I'm gonna put front and center on my Grand Prairie Airbnb. I'm gonna put Arlington Airbnb. I'm gonna title it Arlington Airbnb, and or you can title it Dallas. You can title it because kind of really you're not lying because you're in the Dallas. What's it called? The Dallas area.
DFW Metroplex.
Yeah,
but my saying is this: if they search Arlington, you aren't gonna come up. If they search Dallas, you ain't gonna come up. You're in Grand Prairie. Searches off the city.
I come up whenever people search Arlington from my Hearst house. I don't know. I mean,
but if they put on the map, like let's just they say show map, right?
Right.
That's how I do an analysis on a market. We aren't going to show up. Well, if they start moving it, we can show up. You see what I'm saying?
Now check this out. it's another caveat, right? You know when it asks you, because I've helped a couple buddies set up rooms because a buddy in Arlington in Grand Prairie actually he's setting up some rooms in his house to rent out, and it gets to the point where it asks your address and all that, and it said, "Is this pin accurate?" And it lets you
move your pin.
That's what I was gonna say. It lets you move your pin to wherever the hell you want to move it.
Yeah. Now check this out. Speaking of that pin thing, so that that house I was gonna buy, I was looking at that house out in Viridian, right?
Yeah.
There's only one Airbnb over there, but the girl who has the Airbnb, she took the pin and dropped it in the middle of the lake. I was like, oh, okay, I see. Yeah, she was smart on that one. I was like, yo, that's smart. So nobody knows who's doing it. But flip side, her face is on her profile, so she's a rookie. Yeah, she'll get caught soon. She a rookie. I'm like, yeah, your face is on your profile. They'll find out who the hell you are.
Now, if I drop the pin in Arlington, when they look up Arlington, are they going to see that house or what?
That's a good question, but I think it might piss somebody off, though.
Well, can I just pick a random vacant crack house and then put that as my address, even though...
Yeah, but I'm saying if somebody books and they're looking in that area and your house ain't over there, you might piss them off.
Well, then that's when you explain to them in the messages, hey, yo. We're still right up the road from the stadiums. We're not in that crack house where that pin drops.
But, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting, man, but... another thing I did, man, I finally fired Guesty.
Oh.
Fired Guesty. I went over this. I got everything on Smart B&B, man. It's way better than Guesty. It's way faster than Guesty and everything. So, yeah.
Who told you about that Smart B&B?
Josh had reminded me of it, but I had already known. I knew about it. I had used it before, but at the time, their pricing structure was messed up. Which now it's way better. They only charge you if you get paid out, they'll charge you for a payout. Mm-hmm. They don't charge you for, hey, if this listing's active, it's for a payout. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they only charge you like $10 a month for a payout.
Oh, okay. Not bad.
But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Pretty much refinancing, about to sit and see what do I want to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, well, do I want to buy another house with an apartment on the back, which that's kind of become a pain. Because, like, this is how I see it. It's like this. It's like, if you want one of the newer houses with the apartment on the back, you're looking at $500,000. If you want an older one, you're gonna have to do a lot of work. Because the one I went to view over in Arlington, man, the apartment side was decked out. Like, it looked brand new, but the whole house was just... the main house to live in, man, it had needed too much work. So Mahogany looked, she was like, nah, this needs too much work. So we're still looking around. I might just refinance this and get a duplex. Who knows?
Yeah. Sure. You got a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I ran across
Oh, the microphone's picking up that pin clicking a lot.
My bad.
Yeah, that's right.
Another thing, so my brother and sister brought me a deal. They brought me a deal, but I'm kind of nervous about it because I'm looking at it like it was a fourplex.
Oh, nice.
And we're looking at it, yeah, it's a fourplex. But the only thing about the fourplex is, man, the building's 100 years old.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the building's 100 years old. The building's 100 years old. My brother told me, he was like, man, I think like someone had an offer in on the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they had an offer in on the house. And then after the inspection, they told her they wanted $100,000 off the house.
Oh.
And then she said no, and back, of course, they ended the deal. But I'm like, they don't share the inspection with us. We're like, well, dang, what was going on? You know, because that was my concern, like, oh, what was going on? So, and of course, in order for us to get the inspection, we got to put a bid in on the property, and then put a bid in on it, and then go through our own personal inspection process. And also the house the fourplex has been sitting on the market for 2 years.
Oh, there's a big reason then.
I know. I'm like, man, I don't know, but I ran the numbers on it, man. All you have to do is make 2 of the units long-term rentals and make the other 2 Airbnbs. You make a killing on it, but I don't know what's going on in there, you know? Make a killing on it, but I don't know what's going on in there, you know? So it's kind of like I'm sitting up.
You might have to bring it up to code and shit, rip out all the plumbing, all the electrical. There might be some crazy stuff like that.
Now, here's the big caveat to it. Big thing to it. It's in the historic district, right? Mm-hmm. Well, did I already say the place of it? Where it's at?
Mm.
Good, we'll keep it that way. It's in the historic. It's in the historic district of the city. So, but in the city's like, look, if you keep the floors and the windows, we'll give you a tax credit. But the tax credit is like $20,000 the next year.
Nice.
Cash.
Nice.
But you have to keep the windows. You have to keep floors. You know what I mean? Because it's to keep a historic district. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm like, dang. But if somebody wanted $100,000 off of it after the inspection, man, that 20 ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a lot going on.
Man, it's a lot going on.
But
we had what else were you gonna say?
Oh, I guess we gotta hop into our biggest topic: how to pay off student loans with real estate.
Okay, yeah.
How would you go about doing it, Steve?
Man, that's a tough question because I know you and I'd be like, I could put 10 G's towards my student loan, or I could use that 10 G's and get a house that'll pump me out some income. It's a tough one, right?
This is how I look at it. Yeah, okay. My strategy is this. I personally wouldn't do this strategy, but you can do it. You can straight up excuse me. If you did your due diligence on your house, you could straight up refinance your house, take the refinance money and pay off all your student loans if you want to do it that way, especially if you know your house is going to go back up in value. Right. I was telling people you can't do that, but I wouldn't do it, but I mean, that's the way to do it. If you have like a multiplex, a duplex, triplex, quad, you can refinance those and do it. You know, especially, and I think with those, since they're considered investment property, they'll give you a higher amount based on your rental rates, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's all types of ways to skin that cat, but I was telling people that you could really pay off student loans with real estate.
Yeah.
So instead of putting 15 G's towards your debt, your college debt, put it towards a nice piece of real estate, let it appreciate. Make sure it appreciates, schooldigger.com, all that. Make sure it appreciates. Boom. Refinance it. Throw the money right back at your debt, at your student loans. You might refinance and get 60 G's. You never know.
And when you mentioned that, a cool thing crossed my mind. Well, about an hour or so later, I was thinking of that student loan thing, and if there was an actual, what plans could we, come up with for people to do it. And then I was thinking, man, as a lot of people know, there's a huge ticking time bomb in the economy, and that's the student loan debt balloon that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's people that got 100 G's, 200 G's, 300 G's in student loans. and just paying the minimum, man, and it's just like draining people, and it's just gonna get to the point where I mean, they got to choose between paying rent and paying for a student loan, you know. Or
yeah, that's true.
Get some underground job or something where they don't take it out of your paycheck. I mean, it's a rough lick, dude. It's like I've heard it put before. It's like paying on a mortgage but not getting the house. Paying on a 30, 50 year note without getting the house. And so I was thinking, man, this is the perfect opportunity for Airbnb to do something, to join forces. It's been fighting against local governments, whatever, maybe the bigger governments, but to join forces, go up there, send all your most good-looking, handsome, prettiest lobbyists up there to Washington, wine and dine these fools, and say, let's make this law the law of the land. Let's make a new law for the United States. That'll trump all the little cities laws. Let's say this. Okay, cities, whatever, they don't want Airbnb, blah, blah, blah. But let's say someone has a bunch of student loans, I don't know, you can even put a minimum. Let's say they got at least $30,000 of student loans they're trying to pay off. Let them use Airbnb legally in that city at least until that debt is paid off. That way you're allowing the people that really need to do Airbnb, not these guys that have 20, 30 houses that, hey, I'm going to throw like 20 of them on Airbnb in the same block, just to make more money.
Hey, man, that's what I'm trying to do.
I know. I'm going against the grain a little bit. But I just thought I was like, man, that's a good idea. I was like, they should really just, try to just, lobby the government. Let's do something. These young millennials that have all this money with this big old freaking burden on their back, they know how to use the internet. They know how to rent out their cars on tour. They know how to rent out a room or a whole house on Airbnb. Let them do it at least until they pay off their student loans. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a freaking brilliant idea.
It could be. It's a good idea. But yeah. I don't know. That's a good idea. I'm a holler at Airbnb. Let's say you're. I don't know, but I guess this also depends on how you think. If I was a student, if I had student loan debt, I wouldn't, and I had Airbnb income, I wouldn't really focus on paying that towards my student loans. I'd focus on putting it towards either more Airbnbs or investments. You see what I'm saying?
But
if you set up a payment plan though through their Airbnb, that would be dope.
But let's say you're a student and you happen to live in San Francisco where they don't let you do Airbnb. And all of a sudden they say, okay, you can do Airbnb, but only until your student loan's paid off. You jump on that deal quick because you pay off that loan in like 6 months in San Francisco or New York or San Diego.
Who's to say you put that money towards student loans?
Well, okay, we can go into the minute details, but Airbnb could even work with student loan bank, whoever you owe your loan to, right? Where they get a chunk of the money every single time. I mean, you still make a little bit, but they still get they get a payment every time you do a booking, blah, blah, blah. There's ways to do this, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to partner with them.
If you can give 0% loans to ex-military, I mean, that's a perk, right? That certain people get, that other people don't get. I mean, they can do things like that.
Yeah, they can. They definitely can.
So, I don't know. Just a thought.
But it was this reason why I was talking about that, because I heard a lot of people talking about student loans and I'll never be out of debt, and then I sit there and listen to these Ramsey people, man, tell me they paid off $10,000 worth of debt in 5 months. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? But I was like, I'll let you do that. That sounds retarded as hell. But to each their own, But hey, it is what it is.
To each their own. It's good. I mean, I don't know. Paying off debt's fun too.
It is. But I just can't. I can't bring myself to pay off, especially working a full-time job and putting all that money towards. If you can work 5 months and make $10,000, right? And you decided to put that on a credit card debt, like, dog, you could have bought a house.
Yeah.
You could have crushed that credit card debt. You know what I mean? But Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, dude.
Different strokes for different folks.
I'm going to a story. You want me to go to a story? You got something to
Go ahead.
And this is an Airbnb show, whatever, short-term rental show, but I always tell these stories, and I try to bring them back around. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't, right? And so my buddy from work, Dave, I just say Dave. Well, he had a near-death experience. This was this is back, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago when he was younger. He was out hunting with his buddies, right?
Yeah.
And so I think what happened, a guy was he was messing with like a pistol, right? His buddy was messing with the pistol, doing something with it, and it fired and shot Dave right below the eye with a .22. And they say with .22, once it goes in you, it bounces around a little bit.
Yeah, it travels, yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, it bounced around a little bit, ended up like right around here, the neck region, and like pinching an artery shut. It didn't like burst, it could have bled out, right? But anyways, long story short, he felt like a ringing, then he passed out, and his buddy said his whole face was bleeding out, his mouth, nose, eye, everything was bleeding. They're trying to pick him up, take him to the car, get him to the nearest hospital. They're out hunting, so they have to drive like a half hour, an hour, or whatever to get to the nearest hospital. And they thought this fool was dead. Anyways, I mean, it was just a regular day at work, and he's explaining this to me. I was just curious, man. I was like, man, did you think you were gonna die? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I never told anybody this, but yeah, I thought I was gone, man. He goes, I even, people talk about the white light, this or that. And he said that he actually, everything turned white, and just this white light, and he just felt like the most peaceful feeling he's ever felt in his life. Just like no worries, nothing, just whiteness and just peace. Kind of like he was leaving, like he was, that's it. And he never felt a more peaceful moment in his life. And he just telling me, but they brought him back. And he ended up, of course, he survived and everything. And he was in the hospital for a while. They had to do a bunch of stuff, but but I was like, man, you had to like, it had to be changing. That had to change you, And he said, yeah, I mean, he appreciated his family and his friends a bunch more after that, and he appreciated life a bunch more. And it just got me thinking, if I'm going to try to bring it all the way back around, it's like, man, I mean, at any moment, we could just, that's it, we're gone, we're dead, right? A car could run a red light and take us out, we're done, that's it. And, or, 18-wheeler or a bus, whatever the hell, I mean, and so I'm like, why not, to bring it back, I'm like, why not do what we love in life? Why not we try something that's hard, Try something that's difficult. Try something that's challenging. Instead of just, I'm just going to grind away at this job that I hate for another, 30, 40 years, and hopefully there'll be something there when I'm old and decrepit, and then someone will take care of me, It's kind of like, why not, if we could die at any turn, why not do what we want to do in life, Why not enjoy it?
People fear failure, man.
They fear failure. And what is failure? It's just a lesson, right?
Learning experience, all it is, man.
And the show I've been listening. You've heard of a podcast called How They Built This?
No.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna send it to you. It talks about all these people that started businesses, startups.
Yeah.
And bootstrapped and all that. They just started their business. They just had an idea and they went for it. And he talks about their trials and tribulations, and having to raise money from everybody in their family and try to just like go for this dream of theirs, and how many times they fell on their face and just wanted to give up, but they just kept persevering. And one of the cool quotes I heard, it was this guy, I forgot what this guy invented, but I mean it's multi-million-dollar. Walmart bought his, it was like some kind of pants that, I don't know, but Walmart bought them for like $340 million. And so anyways, he said, he said a cool quote. He goes, businesses don't fail. They only cease to exist because the founder gives up. And
I've heard that before.
And I was like, that's pretty cool, man.
I've heard that
cool.
before.
Yeah. And I thought it was the coolest thing. And it's true. I mean, how many people, get a little bit of adversity and they just like, I can't do it. I'm done. Yeah. Someone trashes their Airbnb. I'm done. No more Airbnb. Or trashes their long-term rental or whatever it is. It's just people give up.
That's true, man. That's what you're doing, man. Because you're scared of them po-pos, man. You're scared of the po-po. Po-po ain't supposed to scare you out of making your money. No.
I'm not giving up. I'm just transitioning. I'm pivoting to long-term rental.
No, it's funny because I'm done house hacking my house March 8th.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done doing house hacking my house, so that was one of the reasons I'm going to go ahead and refinance, get another property, to cover that cash flow difference,
Yeah.
So that's really why I wanted another house with an apartment on the back. If I have a house and an apartment on the back, I can rent the apartment out, but yeah, I'm done on March 8th.
So why are you? What was the final straw, or what was the reason you just want to jump out of it?
I mean, me and Mahogany getting ready to have, we're going to probably have another kid this year or next year. Well, it's going to have to be next year now from the time we're planning. So, we're trying to, grow the family, and, you need more space for that. So, yes, different transitions coming in, I'm actually probably going to take a break on the timeshares too and just focus on arbitrage. And this year I'm just focusing on buying real estate because we are in a buyer's market.
I would disagree. I heard you say that the other day. And if you're talking about the price range you're looking at, like $500,000, yeah, it's a little slow on that end. Or
no. I'm talking about $500,000. I'm talking about anything right now.
Because I've been looking every single day. I look every single day for the last 3 years. It's ridiculous, dude. Houses that are, anything from 200 to 250 is gone, dude, quick. Anything 200 to 250, that's halfway decent. Let me put that caveat in there. That's a good looking house, a decent looking house, not a fixer upper kind of shit. But 200 to 250 is gone, unless you're gonna go live way the hell outside of the city, kind of thing. But the ones that I've been looking at, okay.
Okay, let's do this. Let's break it down like this. Where are you looking?
I look Arlington. I look, like I said, not the piece of crap houses. Not the piece of crap houses. North Arlington. The expensive part. But
I don't know. I went all the way north, and it's okay. I'm looking in like West Arlington by the lake. I'm looking between. Okay, never mind. I'm looking at probably a little bit. I'm looking at probably 300 up.
Yeah, it's a little slower there. Not a lot of regular earning families can afford 300,000. They might.
But, I'll say this. I'm meeting people that are catching deals in Dallas right now.
Okay, Dallas is a different animal. I haven't looked in Dallas.
Oh, okay. And, I'm talking about all over the man. You can catch a deal. Like 3 to 4 months ago, you couldn't catch a deal. People bidding crazy prices. You know what I mean? Right now, man, ain't nothing moving. From what I've been seeing.
Okay. I look Hurst, Euless, Bedford. I look Richland Hills, Watauga. Anything that's semi close to the airport. That's where I look because I work at the airport.
Oh. Okay.
And it's everything semi close to the airport is freaking high, dude. It is freaking high. And North Arlington too is stupid high right now. And Grand Prairie, there's still some deals to be had in Grand Prairie. There's
Definitely.
Still some deals.
I'm looking now.
Yeah, but it's to us, me growing up around here, we always knew Grand Prairie was the hood. But they built out further south. They built the new houses.
Oh yeah.
But North Grand Prairie, that's always been the hood.
Yeah.
And it's still kind of hoodish. It's still pretty hoodish.
Yeah, because North Grand Prairie is like North Grand Prairie borders South Irving.
Right.
South Irving. Like, it's like I've always said, like, Irving is like the straight up most segregated, not even like straight class segregated city I've ever seen. Like, you go to the south side of Irving, this straight hood. You go to the north side, you think you're at the Taj Mahal. You're like, what? I'm for real. Like, I went to Irving, I was like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, oh yeah, you go up to the north side, Las Colinas and all that. I'm like, this is the same city?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
nah, man. Yeah, like South Irving and North Irving, man, that's like the
night and
it's
day.
like Hollywood and old East LA.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of Latinos live in South Irving. Yeah,
but
get some
like
good Mexican food, good Salvadorian food over there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get some good food. The real deal.
See, but that's the part of South Irving I knew about.
Yeah.
So when I finally drove up to North Irving, I'm like, damn, what's all this? You know, and they're like, yeah, this is still Irving. I'm like, oh, you know, it turns from $150,000 homes to $500,000 like that.
You know what I saw? I saw it said Grand Prairie, and it was kind of like a little bit central Grand Prairie, and so it was central to north. And anyways, it was a house. It was a new construction house, right? For $235, 4-bedroom, 2 or 3 bath, you know, nice size house, 2,000 some odd, 2,200, 2,300 square foot, you know, single story. Nice.
Okay.
You know, I started looking at the pictures. And then I looked and I hit the satellite view of the map. And man, they put a brand new house right in the middle of the hood, man.
They're doing that in South Dallas right now, man. They dropping like houses straight up, man. They dropped a $300,000 house in a $150,000 neighborhood.
Why are they doing that?
Oh, they about to gentrify, man. South Dallas, man. Oak Cliff's getting gentrified.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. They got the art district there and everything.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, yeah, they really gentrifying some stuff out there. But it's a few slow markets I know about that I might make a move on. You know, but can't be telling everybody about it where everything is. But you know, it's a few slow markets I might make a move on. So I'm really kind of debating, should I buy another one in Dallas? Well, I don't know, because you know, I was saying Dallas is oversaturated. You know, and I think we talked about like Dallas is just oversaturated. Like, there's too many people here. Houston's oversaturated. So you got to find those small pockets like Grand Prairie, Hearst. There's only 3 Airbnbs in Hearst, man.
I know. I'm always looking
That sounds
to buy
like, man,
another
give me your
house.
house. I'll take it. There ain't no competition over there.
I know. Here's the thing. Here's a funny thing. The girl that's gonna be renting our house, she'll move in April, 1st of April, and so she told me if that was cool, because she's like, and she goes, yeah, I saw your house on Airbnb. Is it cool? I mean, if I move in April and you can just keep renting Airbnb it out throughout March. I was like, yeah, that's fine. You know, I'll find people. You know, I'll fill it up. And oh, thank you. And anyways, she I explained to her the other day. I said, look it. I never say look it. I said, check it out. At the end of April, I've been pondering what to do with this listing, because someone rented my Hearst Airbnb at the end of April for like 4 days, and I was like, and you told me that I could cancel, no penalty, because you know, you could tell them, hey, the band's coming, I got to cancel, blah blah blah. And so, but I was like, man, I'd hate to do these people like that. You know, they're here, they're doing their little vacation thing, and I don't want to put them out like that. And so, and they were looking forward to staying at my place. And so I was trying to, I was just racking my brain with this, and I finally told her, I was like, listen, I got someone at the end of April. Here's what I know you got it rented up for that month, but here's something I could throw at you. How about, you let us rent it out to those people for those 4 days, because she's gonna rent my place. I'm gonna leave the furniture behind in my place, right? And so, and she's gonna pay an extra $100 a month to rent it with the furniture there. And so we really don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Because we'll just have to go in there, and it's just her and her little chihuahua. So we just have to go in there, get it ready, Airbnb ready before they come. and they can, those people can come in for 4 days, rent it, and then bail. And I said we'll clean it beforehand, we'll clean it afterhand, and you can stay at our house, and we'll stay at our buddy's house. You still have a house to stay for those 4 days. And this is the part that'll piss you off, because I know I know how you are, Myka. And I said, I'll make it even better for you. I'm going to give you the money we were going to get from them for renting it out for those 4 days. I'm going to give it to you, or just take it off your rent. And I showed her the payout. Yeah, it's like, yeah. She's like,
hey, you're a walking goddamn charity, man. Oh shit, man. Hey, are you looking for tenants, man?
Oh man.
I'll rent your house long term.
Now listen. Okay, this is a one-time deal. I'm trying to make everybody happy, dude. I'm trying to make everybody happy on this 1 4-day rental, okay? And I know. Now that I think about it, I said, man, I should have said I'll split the money with you. But anyways, I'm gonna give her the money for that 4 days. I'm gonna take it off her rent, and whatever. I'm too nice of a guy, I know, Myka. But
you better hope this lady's a good long-term tenant, man. She might be up in your house walking around butt naked, kicking it, man, living that life. Like, hey, I got the nicest landlord ever.
Now this is what I did.
Place to giving me all the money.
No, this is what I did tell her, because she was saying something about going to London for 2 weeks in May, and I was like, and to visit her boyfriend, and I was like, you know what? If you ever want to leave, if you're gonna go out of town for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, a month, let us know. We could Airbnb out the house while you're gone.
That's dope.
And I said, check this out. This is the part you might like, Myka. This is the part you might like. And I said, we'll just split what we make for that week or that, those 2 weeks. We'll split it 50-50. And she said, wow, that's really cool.
Is she okay?
Oh, she's still paying rent for the month. She's paying for the whole month rent. So,
hey, I'm gonna throw something at you.
Okay.
Do you think you might be giving her incentive to Airbnb her house herself?
I don't think she would, because I told her a band was coming and everything. But if she wants to Airbnb it, I said, that's what I'm saying. If you ever want to Airbnb it or make extra bucks or whatever, let me know. We'll handle everything, and then we'll split it 50-50. So now this is what I'm talking about, the Steve double dip. You renting out the house long term, and if she gets the hankering to go out of town for a week or two, wants to rent it out, and hits me up, hey, let's rent it out Airbnb. Okay, cool. I'll rent it out for those week or two, make 1,000 G's, and give her 500. I get 500. That's just like icing on the cake, because I already got the month rent anyway. Yeah. So it's $1,000 on top of that month's rent. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. That's dope.
So
I like that. I like
the
that.
double
like, yeah, if she already's going to pay you, you know what I mean, and it's an incentive for her, okay, I'm paying the rent, but she's pretty much knocking off whatever you give her back to her rent, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, that's dope. I'd do that, yeah.
And that's 50%, Myka. It's not no 20%, Airbnb.
Yeah,
let me run your Airbnb for 20%. It's 50%. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's dope. So, you already got the listing for it, yeah, I'd do that. I
got the listing, I got it ready to roll. Just let me know when you be out of town. Boom, we'll get that thing on Airbnb quickly.
Yeah, man. That's dope. But I don't think, my thing about Hearst is like this. I don't fear Hearst more than Arlington. Arlington, they over here knocking on doors, man. That's a whole nother level, and I truly think they got all the people information from that city council meeting. So, Hearst, I don't think they're knocking on doors. I think Hearst just did it because they heard other cities doing it.
Jerry Jones sending his goons in.
Yeah, and even at that, it's only 3 of y'all out there. I don't know. It's interesting, though.
Cam's taking over the Hearst scene. Shoot.
He ain't in Hearst, though. He's in North Richland, which is down the street, but his listings dominate that area.
He's got a badass place. He makes his, freaking top-notch, dude.
Oh, yeah. I actually already took some of his ideas.
You know what?
I'm putting What?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You putting poles in your house?
I'm putting pull-out couches in all my Airbnbs from now on. I'm doing pull-out couches in the living room, all of them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna do that. Probably to my Little Rock Airbnb. I'm about to add that. I was like, yo, I need pull-out couches.
You know, if you think that's what I'm saying. Okay, I consider myself. I'm a businessman. I'm a nice guy. I think you are more of the, you know, you're a little bit more ruthless than me, which is a good thing because you make more money.
I'm not ruthless.
Cold calculated, whatever. But I think Can is an extra level above you.
Oh yeah.
In the ruthlessness.
Can's a hustler. Done business with Can. Can's a hustler. Like straight cutthroat to the point. This is how we do it. That's why I like him. I'm like, oh yeah, I learned from him.
He had like a 5-page thing for the cleaner, right? Straight cutthroat. This is how it has to be done. I like that. And this is what's funny too with Can. It's because you know he goes to shows. He's my agent. He goes to shows houses. You know, we go walk through houses, and it's great to have an agent like that because he points out all the crap. You know, all the stuff. Oh, you don't want this house. Oh, look, the railroad's too close. Don't buy this house. He'll tell, and I mean, if it's like a $250,000 house and he can make some money off it, and he kind of sees we like it, a lot of agents will be like, oh yeah, I should do it. Put a bid. He's like, nah, man, you don't want to. Look at the neighbors over there. Nah, you don't want to live. No, this. He tells us straight up. That's what's cool about Can. He tells us the damn truth. He's like friends with us, you know. But if I ever say, or if we see a house and they say, okay, you know, it's good, it's pretty good for that price, but it's gonna need these floors here. You might gonna put some floor. You're gonna do some this. I was like, oh man, you got a guy that I could use for some, you know, to get that flooring done. He's like, nah, man, I don't got it. He's protective as hell of his contractors, man. He's got a good team, and that's smart too. He don't want to overextend them by lending them out to everybody else, right? But he keeps his team together, and so if you ask him for a guy to do something, I don't really got it.
See, I'm kind of like that. I'm like that with my cleaners and my tax guy. I'm gonna tell you why, and I learned this from my cleaner. When I started telling people about my cleaner, I started stretching her too thin. And I was like, yo, okay. And then it started taking a dip in my cleaner. And I was like, oh, no, I ain't telling nobody else about my cleaner. You know, so you do have to be like that. But speaking of good real estate agents, I'm happy Can's like that because my real estate agent's like that. In that house I was looking at over in Meridian, she was like, hey, she goes, these are the HOA rules. She goes, they have to be here 6 months. She's like, y'all know a little bit more about Airbnb than me, but you have to realize, I'll keep it honest with you, y'all gonna stick out in this neighborhood. Y'all young, y'all black, y'all the only ones over here. Hey, if y'all do some Airbnb, they're gonna be watching traffic. So you know what I'm saying? You do have to have a realtor that keeps it real with you. You know what I mean? So she was like, look, y'all don't stick out. Y'all are gonna stick out in this neighborhood if y'all try to do it. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to touch it. You know?
HOA be all over y'all's asses.
What'd you say?
HOA be all over y'all's asses.
Oh yeah, within a second. So that's what she was like. She was like, "Look, the HOA rules ain't really too friendly." But the only thing was, I was like, I was thinking about if I did get that house, I could do a long-term rental on it, but I could probably do it for like $1,600 a month, which would still be good. I'd still be saving money by moving out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. It was interesting, but I'm happy. Yeah, you got to have a good real estate agent. You have to.
You got to. It's vital. Now, if you're selling your own house, you don't need an agent to sell your own house. My buddy.
What, you talking about Open Door or something?
Well, see, that's different because you sell your house to Open Door, right? They buy it for you. They buy it from you. That's the commercial I heard, anyways. But here's what my buddy.
Go ahead.
Here's what my buddy at work's told me. He's not a real estate guy, but he just happens to have a wife that loves to move every few years. She gets tired of living in the house, and she wants to move to another house, which is great because Can suggest everybody should move every 2 years anyways, so you can get that whatever profit you make is they don't tax it, so you get like a big paycheck, tax-free paycheck, which is like working 2 years or 3 years, shit. But anyways,
hold on. I have a question. When he says move every 2 years, is he selling the house he was just in, or is he refinancing?
Can sells his because he goes in and he fixes. He does a live-in flip, so he'll go live it there for 2 years, fix it up, make it all beautiful, he'll move out and he'll sell it and make like 50 to 100 G's, you know, and it's all tax free. He said that's
he
the way
does
you do it.
burser.
Huh?
Burser.
Burster?
Buy, rehab, well, BRL, buy, rehab, live, sell, repeat. Yeah, buy, rehab, live, sell, repeat. See, I kind of was thinking about, and that was another thing you could do, like to get out of student loan debt. You could do that. Take 5%, put it down on one house, right? And then use the rest of your cash to pay off student loan debt. If you want to do that, if you're one of those student loan people, you know what I mean? You could straight live in a house for 2 years, take the money you make off the sale, and move to the next one. Use 5% of that, buy another house, sell the old one. Man, there's so many ways.
Done dizzle. But anyways, I'll go back to what I was talking about my buddy from work.
Yeah.
Dave, Mr. Dave, San Miguel. It's a different Dave, not the guy that got shot in the face. He got street cred.
Yeah.
But anyways, but my buddy Dave San Miguel has been doing this for years now, and and I was like, and I asked him too because they just been slowly getting a bigger, but badder asser house every few years, and they weren't even trying to get that tax free profit. They just they'd roll the money into the next house, whatever. They don't the payments would be the same or cheaper. Then they get a bigger, badass house. And so I told him, yeah, I said that's kind of a cool thing and all, but you get hit with those real estate agent fees, don't you? Every time you sell that shit. And he's like, no, man, I sell it myself. He goes, there's companies out there that'll list it for you, which is what a real estate agent does. They list you on the MLS, right? They list you on all, and which throws you on all the Zillows and Redfins and all that shit, and you're plugged into the MLS, and so your agent that's selling your house for you charges a 3% fee. So a $300,000 house. I mean, how much is that? What's that? Quick, what's 3%? That's $3,000 going to the agent, right?
9 G's, yeah, something like
that. Or
that.
9 G's, yeah, something like that. It's a lot of money, thousands of dollars going to an agent, which pretty much throws it on the MLS, and their agent's the one that's doing all the work because they're taking them to go see the house and all that shit. So, but there's services. It's about $300, and they'll post it on the MLS for you, and it doesn't look all cheesy like Fizbo, like a for sale by owner sitting there popped up on the Zillow, whatever. It looks kind of weird. It's like this is the book. It's like it looks like it's an actual agent booking your place. So when people see the house, it looks just like Century 21's listed it or whatever the company's name is. And so they do all the paperwork and everything. They schedule, people call them up and they schedule to go see the house. They do all that shit, and they put in a bid to buy your house. You of course you got to do a little research. You want to price it right and all that shit. Yeah. But I mean that's fucking easy with Zillows and shit, right? I mean with whatever you can just see who's selling around your neighborhood. Boom, boom, boom. Put a hot price.
Well, I don't know about using Zillow, but yeah, it's easy. I don't know about using Zillow. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Just see who's sold in the last whatever and how much they sold for a house similar to yours, whatever. But yeah,
but I have a question though. Don't you need a real estate agent to run those numbers for you?
To run the comps? Like I said, that's a good point. I don't know, but you could do some research and find out what's sold in your neighborhood for what price, right?
Nah, you need a real estate agent to run them comps. See, that's my issue with Open Door. Like, Open Door will buy your house, but they charge fees out of this world to get your house. Oh, and they're going to undercut you on the price. Okay. But I don't know what he's using, though.
Yeah, he said he was going to send me a name of one, but there's a bunch of them out there that list your house for you.
Yeah. And also, when he's doing that, is he taking all the money from the old house and putting it into the new house?
I think that was how they were doing it. Yeah, I know. Like I said, he's not a real estate guy. But
you said he's not a real estate guy.
He wasn't a real estate guy. He just told me. I was like, man, those fees got to be eating you up every few years when y'all move. They just like to move. And
I think you could cash for the fee though. The fee wouldn't really hurt me. I just want, you know what I mean? It's a nice chunk of change, but it is what it is. But okay.
Yeah.
And I don't get why people do that. Like, for example, I was talking to a guy, my coworker, he's buying a house, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, and I told him, hey, I was like, yo, I'll sell you my house. And he's like, and he can afford my house, but he's like, no, I don't want to buy it. And he's like, because He goes, because I want to put down 20% on the house that I move into. I'm like, why? He's like, I don't want to pay PMI. I'm like, if you're living there, who gives a damn? It's going to appreciate. I mean, you know what I mean? But that's how some people are. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, you living there, who gives a damn? It's going to appreciate, but that's how some people, I just can't see myself putting 20 down. I can't do 20% on a house I'm going to live in. I don't understand it.
Right. That's just, a lot of people think that 20% thing, a lot of people just old school.
I mean, I'll do it for an investment property, but if it's just something I'm about to live in, what's the point?
Yeah, you have to for an investment property. You have no choice.
Yeah, no choice. But like, I hear people say all the time, I'm putting down 20% in the house I'm about to live in. Like, well, I mean, unless you don't do due diligence on like appreciation, school districts, all that. You know what I mean? But
so in other news, Mahogany Fitt getting us in shape, yo. Look at that.
Oh yeah. Been hitting the gym, huh?
Yeah, we started up at the gym again, and that's a big part of. I was going to ask you, Myka,
Sure.
What makes you happy?
Man, freedom. Freedom makes me happy.
That's pretty vague. It's pretty vague. It's vague. Explain.
Freedom is having power over your own time. You have the power over your own time. That's what makes me happy. For time with your family, the time you control your time. That's freedom. Definitely, that's freedom to me. Yeah, if you have power over your own time, that's like the biggest thing that makes me happy. It's the only reason I do all this real estate stuff. Seriously, it's because of that.
So,
how about you?
You're hustling a lot right now, though, because you got a full-time job, and you're doing all the real estate, Airbnb, timeshares. You have an announcement about timeshares, by the way. I want to hear this.
Oh, I was saying I'm taking a break on that too. Yeah, I'm mainly just doing the arbitrages and things. I'm not really hustling that hard though. Like everything else is just sitting there because I'm refinance process is not it's just what you send over. You're waiting for the bank. You know what I mean? I'm really playing the waiting game right now. But like every day though, I'm making sure I'm on the MLS. Like right now, I'm sitting here looking at the MLS, Arkansas, seeing what's on the market. But other than that, I'm not really too.
But timeshares, you showed your, you made a good chunk every month, like upwards to $8,000 a month doing timeshares. Why are you stopping on that?
Because it's just maybe it's just a slow time, but at the same time, I'm realizing all the rules they put in place, it just makes it a little bit more difficult. So, and really, what I did with all the timeshare stuff, we literally took all the timeshare stuff and just rolled it into arbitrages and houses. So, it served its purpose. I mean, I might hop back on it in the future. I might get another VA and hop back on it in the future, but right now, I'm really focused. Because, like, right now, to me, like we were saying, I think it's a buyer's market. I'm feeling this buyer's market. Like, houses are sitting out there for a long time. That's what I say. It's a buyer's market.
Okay. I got to see where you're looking. You're looking at Arkansas or something.
No. I'm looking at both. Arkansas, Texas, all of it. I don't know what. Also, I guess my price range may be a little different. Like, I'll look at something that's like $250. Like, here goes something that's $242. See, but this stuff's sitting out here, though. Like, how long has this house been on the market? I can't tell. I don't know. Days on Zillow, where's that at? Well, it's been on Zillow for 12 days. That'll probably be gone because it has a swimming pool. But I've been seeing stuff sitting out there.
I got a strong lead on a house. I'm not going to say what area. I just say, I got a lead. Anyways, what attracted me to this house, and it's crazy. It's what some people would be a deterrent. Because, most people want the brand new looking style houses, whatever, maybe at least from the 2000s up, you know what I'm saying? 2000 whatever up to the current date. Then I have friends that are like total house snobs. Like, I only live in a brand new house. Blah 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 blah. Okay, whatever. Good for you. You get all that. I get them after all that depreciation fell off. But anyways, there's an older house, and I like I like older houses. I like the big yard. Nice homey feel. They made them pretty good back in these years, Like I said, I'm not going to go too deep into it. But what it reminded me of this house, it's like the architecture is a little bit different, you know. If you look at the architectures, I wouldn't even know how to describe it, but but I would say, remember I told you I stayed at that Hollywood house or that house over there in LA?
Yeah.
It's like a big
with the black seat.
Huh?
The black toilet seats, right?
The black, yeah. This house don't have the black toilet seats, but but just the openness, that had like some sun. I mean, it had some sun coming through. Like you had, the open on the roof. It had some cool, like a sunroom. It had like cool other open living areas and stuff. It's like this house is like 3,000 square feet, dude. And it's 2-story, and it has a pull out back. The only thing is it's it needs updates, right? But it's just this cool, unique. I don't know, the architecture, the way they did this, and it just reminds me of like the old Hollywood style home. You know what I'm saying? And I think with some nice floors and some paint. I mean, it didn't seem like it needed a lot, and it just need updates. And who knows? The pool was covered with a blue tarp, so who knows how that's gonna look under it. I want to go check it out. But anyway, I talked to my man Can, and it was like I'll say the price. It was like $260, right? They're asking for it, but it's been there for a little bit. It's been there for a little bit because people, whatever. And he said houses in that neighborhood, that are actually fixed up or whatever, that look, they've done updates. They sell for around $300 to $350. So I would have to put some work and some elbow grease in this mother lover. But it's in a nicer neighborhood. It's a nicer established neighborhood, and there's a lot of equity to be had.
Want to shoot the address?
I'll show you. But we're gonna go check it out either tomorrow or the next day. But anyways, like I said, I mean, I could even live in it in that condition, but I would update it. And like I said, I don't have. I told my wife, I was like, we could do. I mean, for 2 years, we can just do update one room, update the next room, update the whatever. You don't have to do all at once. But after those 2 years, we could sell that thing, and we can make a nice chunk of money, and it's tax free. I was trying to explain to her. She goes, "Yeah, but what if we fix it up when we like it?" And I was like, "Well, then we'll just keep living in it." I don't know.
Or get some light. You like this green?
Well, I'll pull the equity out. Of it. That's what I'll do.
Who's gonna use that? And that's one thing I was looking at. You can use one house as your bank house. You know what I mean? Your equity house. I'm just pull the equity out. You wouldn't sell it.
That's what I told her. The plan. I said, "Man, I fixed that pool nice. I fixed the inside, update all the stuff, and I'd have all that equity, man. I'd be tempted. I could make 50 to 100 G's. I mean, if I did it right, And
wait a minute. It's listed at how much?
$260. But hopefully I can get him lower than that.
What's the ARV on it?
That's a good point.
Cam said.
I'm thinking 30 to 40 G's.
No, like the after repair value.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I could put. Oh, what's the after repair? Like I said, he was saying the houses around that size, that in that area, upwards to 350, right now, like 350,000. So there's a lot of room there.
Well, never mind. I wouldn't flip it because if you flip it, you got to pay capital gains, right?
No, I've said after 2 years I'd flip it. After 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like I was thinking if you could just grab it real quick and flip it, but you would have to pay capital gains on it.
Yeah,
right?
you take a big hit on tax capital gains, but it would still be. I mean, that was that 15%. 15%. It'd still be worth it. I wouldn't.
You still make profit off of it, but I would wait. Yeah, I'd play the long game. I'd sit in it for 2 years, pull the equity, and go buy something else. But you got to remember this though, Steve, because you don't like paying 20%. If you pull equity, you got to drop 20% on something.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to drop that 20.
But it'll be a buttload of equity, hopefully.
Yeah, because they'll let you pull. Because if you're living in it, they'll let you pull. I think 80% of the equity out.
But even that's what do they say? Buy the ugliest house in the nicest neighborhood, right? That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And then fix it up, make some bank.
But if that house falls through, you can. You want to buy my house?
You asked me that before. It's just a little too far from work, man. It's for me. It'd be.
You just hop right on 360, man. You there?
I hate 360. I wanted to kill myself so many times driving on 360 back in the day.
Yeah, 360 is even worse now. Well, actually,
I used to live off Arkansas, remember? I used to live off Arkansas. That's so I get on 360 at Arkansas.
360 ain't bad though.
I'd have to get on there like at 5:15 if I had a chance of getting to work on time. Traffic started that freaking early on 360. I remember those days. It sucked, dude. Coming home, it was just, oh man, it was killer.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'm just pulling equity on my house and keep it pushing. That's what I'm going to do.
There you go.
But everybody who's been listening, though, they can say they know how to get out of student loan debt after listening to this, because I just gave them, like, how many different options? 2 or 3 different options to get out of student loan debt. So,
a buttload, man.
If you want to, I personally wouldn't take my advice because I don't believe in doing that with large lumps of cash. Yeah. But that's your way.
Well, we've been at this for a while, huh? Been way over an hour of this.
We've been at it.
Well, we should start wrapping her up. What do you think?
Yeah, we should always wrap it up. But hey, let's go ahead and
unless you're trying.
But yeah, man.
So
that was a good episode. We talked about some good stuff. We still got a bunch of stuff to talk about for next week. Tom Brady pulling off number 6. So we got a bunch of stuff for next week going on.
Yes, we do. But yeah, we're in transition right now. This is the transition show because you're. I mean, one of your 2 of your big pillars were written out. You know, share your from your house, written out rooms of your house, and your other one was the timeshares. I mean, those are the 2 things you were known for, and you're transitioning out of that. I'm transitioning, semi-retiring from doing the Airbnb thing out of the Hearst house, and we're just in a transition mode, right? I mean, you gotta keep moving in life, right? You never know. You gotta pivot. You gotta try different things and shit. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely, man.
But you got that $1 million knowledge in your head, and it's always gonna stay there.
That is true. My man Master P once said that. That is true.
Well, cool. Good show, man. Bro.
It's been a good episode.
Yeah, this is Live Let Thrive. Hit us up on liveletthrive.com. I got all the YouTube caught up, so go watch us on YouTube if you want.
I gotta go look at that, man. I forgot you did that. Yeah, check us out on IG. I'm always posting stuff on our IG. You can follow my Share Bed and Breakfast page on IG as well.
Go get your Live Let Thrive shirt if you want.
Oh, yeah. Check us out at Live Let Thrive. We got all our stuff out now.
One thing I'm going to focus on, I'm going to give you all updates, too. I'm going to give our fans updates. That I've always been kind of like an inventor, at least in my head, and drawing them up. I've never gone farther than that. But I'm going further on one of these inventions that I got going on. And of course, I'm not going to say it right now. I've Googled the F out of it to make sure it don't exist. It don't exist. And I think it's going to be really cool. And man, if I make this, if I get this to hit, I'll be a millionaire, dude. So fuck real estate.
Hey, real talk. I mean, you got to have something else going on. I got a convention too.
Oh, see, there you go. And that show, I'm gonna send you that show, that how they built this, and you're gonna be, because people are inventing. I mean, like, you don't have to invent the whole new freaking. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Well, whatever. These people are inventing stuff, just regular stuff around, like, you know, this guy will fit. He invented, like I said, he sold it to Walmart for $340 million. These just pants that fit dudes better than regular pants was fitting dudes. And he just simple ideas like this, man, that are making, like the Spanx girl. They did a thing on the Spanx girl. That chick's a billionaire, dude. You've heard of Spanx, those pants, whatever, those pantyhose, cut off pantyhose, whatever. She's a billionaire with a B. She still owns her company. It's billionaire with a B. And she just a random idea. She wanted some more comfortable undergarment. And they didn't have it, so she made it her damn self in the garage, and she's a billionaire from that shit.
That's dope.
Yeah, so
that's dope.
Yeah, if you got a good idea for an invention, man, follow it, see what happens.
Real talk.
There you go.
Real talk. Y'all keep living, keep letting, and keep thriving.
Keep thriving hard, y'all.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye bye.